and power tool safety. Today, we're so lucky to have the technology that the staff have. Before, everything we used
Hey, Ricky,
electrically.
you might grab me another chair so I can kind of prop
Now the battery operated stuff.
it. Still on these chairs so I can kind of prop it.
Power tools have much more power in them than the original first time out of the box battery operated stuff. So, but again, we still use some corded tools, maybe hammer drills, core drills, hole hog maybe. So anyway, we're going to watch a brief video about tool safety. But one of the things that they're going to mention, I want to go ahead and mention, steal the thunder, is 1 in 5 construction deaths are due to what? They got any idea? Falls. Actually, falls are probably higher than that. Yes, electrocution, bad cords. Yeah. Whether it's the cord on the tool or whether it's the extension cord. So 1 in 5 deaths, electrocution. We'll go all the way down to that. So anyway, we're going to talk about different stuff. Hand tools, especially you guys use hand tools all the time. Channel locks, crescent wrench, screwdrivers, chisels, all that stuff. So it's got some good information. Take the time to go through your tools. If you got some tools that need to go away, get rid of them, because a faulty tool is what's going to get you hurt. So, carry on.
There are a lot of different kinds of hand tools, and new types of portable power tools become available every year. Power tools can run on electricity, gasoline, air pressure, hydraulic fluid, even gunpowder. Depending on what type of tool you are working with, it could have the potential to cause abrasions, lacerations, amputations, puncture wounds, contusions, eye injuries, burns, electric shock, muscle sprains, and broken bones. Using tools can also lead to health problems, such as hearing loss and tinnitus, and constant ringing in the ears, back and neck injuries, repetitive stress disorders of the hands, wrists, and arms, and respiratory problems, including emphysema, chronic bronchitis, and lung cancer. Power tools can be particularly dangerous since they often expose you to multiple hazards at once. For example, when using a circular saw, you could be cut by the blade, struck in the eye by flying wood chips, or shot by the electric current. Breathing in sawdust may cause respiratory problems, and the noise from the saw can contribute to hearing loss. Non-motorized hand tools don't present the same degree of danger as their powered counterparts. However, since hand tools are driven by your muscles, there is an increased risk of repetitive stress injuries. Whether you use hand or power tools, there are some general safety practices that you should always follow. Keep your tools in good condition. Use the correct tools for the job. Know how to properly operate tools before using them. And always wear personal protective equipment, especially eye protection. Above all else, don't use tools unless your mind is clear and you can stay focused. Being sick or distracted can impair your judgment, especially...
Hey guys, I want to stop real quick on this. 2 weeks before Christmas, we had a contractor, one of his guys fell off a ladder. He had a head cold. He stopped on the way to work at Walgreens and got him some over-the-counter medication. That over-the-counter medication had a side effect, increases blood pressure. Okay, he already had high blood pressure to start with, so then he takes this medication, makes it worse. He's on top of the ladder, climbing up the ladder, loses his balance, fell dizzy, fell off the ladder, and broke his leg. So think about that. If you're not feeling well, make sure you read the side effects on some some of these over-the-counter medications, because they can really make a big difference. So just be aware of that.
Patients. And you should never use tools if you are under the influence of alcohol or illegal drugs. No matter how safe you try to be, if your tools are in bad shape, you are likely to have an accident. So make sure that you keep them in your carrying cases or storage cabinets to help prevent damage. If there's an owner's manual, store it with the tool or in a nearby file for easy reference. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions for cleaning and maintenance. Inspect your tools every time you use them. Things to look for include cracked or bent pieces, loose or missing parts, and rust or corrosion. The handles on hand tools take a lot of abuse. Make sure that they aren't loose, cracked, or splintered. You don't want a tool to lose its head, hit someone. Tools that you strike must be in good condition too. For instance, a cold chisel with a mushroom head could cause eye injuries from pieces of metal flying off each time it's struck. To prevent this, keep the heads on these chisels ground down. Most tool accidents involve cutting tools. Make sure that you sharpen and replace blades often, so they cut with minimal effort. If you try to cut something with a dull tool, you are likely to slip and cut yourself instead. Use sheaths or snap-on blade protectors when storing cutting tools. Tools with retractable blades, such as utility knives and planes, should have their blades withdrawn when not in use. Sometimes you may have to improvise to protect your tools and keep them sharp. You can use corks or styrofoam to cover the points on awls and wood chisels. Foam pipe insulation makes an excellent cover for handsaws. And plastic pouches are great for storing small tools. This also protects the people who are picking them up. Circular saws must have self-adjusting guards that protect you from the blade. These guards should immediately snap back in place after you've made a cut. To keep the guards functioning properly, clean sawdust, wood shavings, and dirt off of the hinge. You can also apply an occasional drop of oil, but don't overdo it. Too much oil can attract debris and cause the very problem that you're trying to prevent. Before plugging in a power tool, check its housing to make sure that there are no cracks. Verify that switches are not loose or damaged. And carefully inspect any hoses or power cords to make sure that they are not cracked, frayed, or otherwise damaged. A broken tool of any kind is dangerous. Tag damaged tools as out of order and install lockout devices on them to make sure that they can't be used. Don't try and fix tools yourself. Always take them to manufacturer-approved repair facilities for servicing. Before using any tool, you need to check your work area for potential hazards. For instance, it's dangerous to operate electric tools in areas where fuel or other flammable materials are stored, since the sparks from electric motors can ignite these substances. Ordinary hand tools can also create sparks as they strike objects, so you need to use spark-proof hand tools when working around extremely flammable materials. If the area that you are working in is dimly lit, you should set up portable lights to make it easy to see what you are doing. Make sure that coworkers are at a safe distance from flying debris and other hazards. Cordon off your work area with caution tape if necessary. You can be seriously injured if you trip and fall with a tool in your hand, so keep the floor in your work area neat and clean as well. Tool injuries often occur when workers become distracted. Never bother a coworker who is using the tool. If someone is trying to get your attention while you are working, stop what you are doing before finding out what they want. When working up high, you have to be careful not to drop tools. Using a wrist lanyard with your tools can keep them from falling if you lose your grip. And never leave tools on top of a ladder or on scaffolding where they can be knocked off. protect yourself whenever you are using tools. A hard hat can cushion blows to the head. Many jobs require work boots with steel toes. And always wear eye protection. Ordinary safety glasses are fine for jobs where there is minimal risk of flying debris. But safety goggles offer a better defense and should be worn when using hammers, wire snips, or power saws. Some tools, such as grinders and masonry saws, can throw off both fine debris and heavy chunks of material at high speeds. To protect yourself from these hazards, you should wear full-face safety shields and goggles. Many tools produce ear-splitting sounds, so hearing protection may be required as well. You'll need some level of respiratory protection when sanding, cutting, and grinding. Dust masks do a good job of protecting your lungs from sawdust, but cartridge filter respirators provide a better seal and should be worn when the work is particularly dusty. There are many different types of cartridges that you can use with these respirators, so be sure to choose the right one for the job that you are doing. Wearing gloves when working with hand tools can protect you from cuts, abrasions, and blisters, but don't use them if they keep you from grasping the tool firmly. Gloves can also help to cushion you from vibration when using jackhammers and other impact tools, but they should not be worn when using most power tools. A glove can get snagged on a blade or bit and draw your hand into the cutting edge. Long hair, loose clothing, watches, and jewelry can also get caught in a tool's moving parts. So always pull your hair back, roll up your sleeves, and remove loose items before beginning to work. It's important that your tools fit both you and the job that you are doing. Many of today's tools have fiberglass handles or soft rubber grips that absorb impact and reduce fatigue. There are also ergonomically designed tools with curved handles that keep your wrist straight and help to prevent tendinitis or carpal tunnel syndrome from developing. Hand tools are fine for small jobs, but when there is a lot of work to be done, you should use power tools to cut down on the wear and tear on your body. Power tools can prevent repetitive stress injuries by doing the hard work for you. However, the force behind these tools can create problems as well. Some power tools produce vibrations that can damage the blood vessels in your hand, causing it to go numb. Since this condition, known as vibration white finger disease, affects blood circulation, your fingers may turn white. If using tools is causing you hand, wrist, or arm pain, see your doctor. Upgrading your tool collection may help you prevent repetitive stress disorders. Most new power tools are designed to reduce the amount of vibration that they produce. Many have pistol grips that make them easier to hold for long periods of time. Some even have extra large triggers to reduce finger fatigue. Always buy good quality professional tools. Bargain basement hand tools wear out quickly and are much more likely to break. And consumer-grade power tools simply don't cut it on job sites. One of the most dangerous things that you can do is to use a tool in a way that was not intended. Most hand tools are made for a specific purpose. Don't try and cut corners by using a screwdriver as a chisel, a wrench as a hammer, or a knife as a screwdriver. You're likely to severely damage the tool, the material that you're working on, and your hand. Never modify a tool either. Tricks such as getting more leverage out of a wrench by slipping a piece of pipe over the handle can result in a serious injury. The size of the tool is also important. For instance, hitting a large nail with a small hammer could result in a glancing blow, while it's easy to miss the mark if you use a large hammer to drive home a small finishing nail. Either way, you are likely to receive a painful hand or finger injury. Many power tools are extremely versatile, but what may be safe operation for one tool could cause another to injure you. Look at the owner's manuals for your tools, and always follow the manufacturer's instructions. You probably use electric tools every day. construction deaths is due to electrocution, many of these fatal accidents are caused by tools that are not properly grounded. Grounding is necessary with most electric tools because they have metal housings or other parts that can conduct electricity to your hand. Never bypass the ground by using an adapter that allows you to plug a tool with a 3-prong plug into a 2-prong ungrounded outlet. Double insulated tools are an exception. They don't have to be grounded because their electrified parts are thoroughly sealed in non-conductive plastic housings. Double insulated tools will always be marked with a label that identifies them. So if a tool has a 2-prong plug but it's not marked double insulated, don't use it. Whenever you are working with electric tools, you should plug into a ground fault circuit interrupter, GFCI. These devices prevent shocks by immediately cutting off the power when they sense that there is something wrong with the flow of electricity. You shouldn't use electric tools in the rain or in damp work areas. They can electrocute you. If you must work in an area that has a damp floor, you can help to protect yourself by wearing rubber-soled shoes or by standing on a rubber mat. The easiest way to get shocked is to cut or damage your tool's power cord. To prevent this, always be mindful of where the power cord is and cut away from it. Power cords can be fragile. Don't use them as a spare handle. Disconnect tools by firmly pulling the plug. Never tug on the cord. And avoid overstretching or pulling on them. You can easily expose the wires and create a shocking situation. One of the most dangerous things that can happen while using power tools is to have them kick back at you. Kickbacks occur when a tool's blade or bit binds up the material that is being cut, and the force of the motor drives the tool towards you. This can result in a serious laceration, injury, and amputation. You shouldn't have to exert much pressure on a tool to make it work. If it feels like the tool is fighting you, the cutting edge may be getting dull. Use carbide tip blades and bits whenever possible. They hold their edge longer. If the blade is sharp, the problem may be with the material. For instance, wood can be difficult to cut if it has big knots or it is wet, so choose your stock carefully. Other things that you should do to prevent kickbacks include using the correct blade or bit for the job that you are doing, making sure that material doesn't shift by clamping it down or having someone help you to hold it in place, allowing tools to come up to full speed before trying to make a cut, keeping both hands on tools for better control, and changing directions gradually so that you don't jam the blade or bit into the material. Always unplug your tools before changing blades or bits, and allow some time for them to cool. Using a tool creates a lot of friction, which can cause blades and bits to become extremely hot. Be careful that you don't cut your hands. Wear gloves whenever possible. When discarding blades, wrap them in cardboard or several layers of newspaper so that people handling the trash won't cut themselves either. Once you have finished with your tool, clean it and put it away to ensure that it's ready for the next time that you need it. Having a healthy respect for your tools and following some basic safety rules can help you to avoid injury. Let's review. Know the hazards that each tool presents and how to combat them. Keep your tools clean and in peak condition. Use the correct tool for the job. Don't use cutting tools that have dull bits or blades. Use tools that fit you ergonomically. Inspect your work area for hazards and use tools that are the safest for the situation. And always wear the appropriate personal protective equipment for the work that you are doing. By taking the time to keep your tools properly maintained and using them correctly, you can get your job done faster and more safely.
Okay, guys. GFCI, stick tails. You guys use those? Yes?
Yep.
Okay, where do you plug them in at? when you put a 100-foot extension cord
No.
at your temporary
No.
pole and bring it into the house and then put your GFCI there?
Put it at the very beginning.
That's right, at the source. Too many times I see the main reason why they do that is it gives them, most of the GFCIs have maybe 3 receptacles to it. So they'll run that 100-foot cord and then plug that GFCI in, but that first 100-foot, is not protected. Always unplug your extension cord before you wind it up. It sounds pretty common and simple, but I see a lot of people that's still plugged in and they're just winding it up and, you know, their hands rubbing right up against it and it's got a damaged cord, they're gonna get shot. They're grounded properly, they may die. So, we use this and this to remove knockouts and distribution panels, right? Right? Anybody have one of these handles shatter on them?
I was gonna say, how many people here keep a little screwdriver, a screwdriver like that back in their bag? That's the one that's the chisel.
That's the chisel,
I've
yeah.
got one.
Yep,
It's
yep.
wore out, you know.
But
No
these
good
things,
screwdriver.
yeah, these things are dangerous. I mean, and when they break,
You don't buy that, John.
you don't buy that
It's
shot.
not a screwdriver.
Well, let's talk
You're the
about,
one that's here, get that going.
let's talk about a good screwdriver. Let's talk about Klein. Klein has a metal, end on it, right? To where you can beat on it?
Some of them.
Some of them do.
Yeah, well, just for your knowledge, people have been known to get shot because they're using that as a chisel. That shaft gets driven inside here, and then it comes in contact with it and energized. There's been I've been doing this topic for a month, and probably 4 times I've had somebody say, have you ever heard about anybody getting shot on Klein tools that's got the metal end cap for you to beat on? I said, no, tell me about it. And then they said, yeah, it actually drives the shaft of the screwdriver into the handle when it comes in contact with it. And next thing you know, you're energized. So use the right tool for the job. This is not a hammer, okay, guys? And when you need to take a nut and a bolt off, rather than use this, maybe a crescent wrench, or better than that, or both, a boxed-in wrench. The chances of it slipping off versus this, not to mention the scarring that you leave on the nut and bolt or whatever you're working on. So, you know, again, this is not going to slip off and bust your knuckles. This is. So, right tool for the right job. Had a plumber at a job site, and I said, can I buy that hammer from you?
I bet he was glad.
Yeah, he says, how much you give me? $15. That thing so fast. But, you know, electrical tape is great for a lot of things, but it's not for a temporary repair of a hammer. This head comes off, somebody's gonna get hurt, right? Not to mention, blisters, splinters, cuts on the head. So, and don't ever use 2 hammers. A hammer here and a hammer to beat on it. This is hard to steel. When it decides to shatter, it's not worth it. Here's a very expensive screwdriver that was used as a chisel, and it damaged the insulation. These high voltage tools, there are 2 different colors. The inside color is white, the outside is orange. If you can see the white, according to OSHA, this thing is no longer a high voltage tool. It's no longer insulated. That's probably a $25 screwdriver. So again, right tool for the right job. This is not a chisel. This is not what you use to knock that
That was
out.
gonna be my point, that is now a chisel.
Yeah, exactly. That's about it. It's an expensive chisel. They talked about mushrooming. Here's a very good example of that. Anybody ever hit one of these things and it's mushroomed and a piece of metal flies off and maybe you got lucky and it hit you in the shoulder or maybe it hit you in the face but didn't get embedded? Well, it happens. So, 2 minutes on the bench grinder, this is take care of your tools. What's wrong with this? No guard. Yep. What else?
Hey, there's a name to this thing.
It's nicer than the one on the truck.
No handle, it should have, if it's got a spot for a handle, which this has got 3 different spots. Well, everybody's, I had to take that handle off because it was in the way. Well, this thing turns 12,000 RPMs. They talk about kickback video, they talk about something. Here's a grinder with no protection. This wheel, when it decides to break, it's a, so, if OSHA walks in and sees you using this because you're using it for a cutter, you got both hands up, this thing's meant to have a handle. You're gonna get written up. We talked about electrocution. You gotta really inspect that's, so can we throw a piece of tape around there just to keep it insulated so we don't get shocked? You can't. This thing has to get a new cord put on it, exactly. So, guys, these are great tools, but they're dangerous as hell. 12,000 RPMs, it's cooking. And when it decides to kick back, it's not good. We use sawzalls all the time. Kickback is common. So, again, use the right tool, a sawzall is not a one-handed tool. Piece of conduit here, sawzall here, right? Or a piece of PVC pipe, that's not right. So you either need a vice or a second person to hold it, where you can use that sawzall with 2 hands.
Show us your drill. I've been looking at your
This
drill.
classic drill,
Yes.
this is, yeah,
That's your drill on my day.
yeah, this was exactly.
Quarter-inch drill.
Yeah, but again, it's pretty simple, that's obvious, it's dangerous. Something that you guys aren't gonna be seeing out on the job site.
Like a Baker home record.
Yep. So anyway, guys, you use tools day in, day out. I don't know how many of you guys wear safety glasses on a regular basis, but I hope you do. Really, there's not one part of your job that doesn't require you to really have safety glasses on. But you think about your senses, the sense of touch, smell, taste, hearing. Okay, God says you can only keep one of them. Which one would you keep? Which sense would you keep?
Sight.
Sight? Exactly, sight. You can't, you can muddle through life without being able to hear. You can muddle through life without being able to taste or smell. You can through life without being able to see. I don't know how you function in this particular, endeavor, in this field. Yeah. So, how we would ever, roll the dice and you may have to walk out to your truck and get them, but it ought to be like your socks. You're not gonna put your shoes on without your socks. You're not gonna get out of your truck without your safety glasses.
As many sets of safety glasses
They're just for looks, Tim.
Well, I do, good ones? Yeah. Do they fog up? Well, I hear that all the time. You know what? This time of year, well, listen, guys, they make a product out there that if you just spray it on your safety glasses twice a day, you're not going to have a fogging issue. It's like a brand. There's several different brands out there, but they work pretty good.
Spit.
And again, usually it'll take 2 wipes a day, and actually they come in your hand wipes, you just open up the little lid, pull it out, and wrap the glasses on, and it keeps them from fogging up. But excuses, but it's not going to help you if you lost your sight. So, anything you want to add, Don?
So the word I want to there's companies, and probably if I asked Marty here, he would advise us to do this. There's companies out here that have policies where everyone wears hard hats and safety glasses all the time. If you're at work, you wear it. And you and I both know that there's times when not only is that not needed, but it's actually inhibits what you're doing. It's a pain. And I would argue that sometimes it's less safe. But in some people's efforts to make everyone safe, they say, okay, but it's statistically better for everybody to have it on. Well, I'll tell you what's the best, is that if everybody is prudent, and that when you start to do something, you consider what you're doing, and you think twice, and if you're in the middle of a plant and it's a half-mile walk to the truck, and you're gonna drive one screw, you say, I ain't got a pair of safety glasses, I'll be back, I'm gonna go get a pair of safety glasses. That's okay, that's all right. You know, if you do that all the time, it's not all right, but it's all right if you need to go get something to put on. Fun fact here, does anybody happen to remember from school the second law of thermodynamics? Anybody remember that? It's also called the law of energy. And it says this basically, that there's an increasing amount of disorder in the universe. So if you take any ordered system, your body, your home, anything, if you leave it alone and don't inject energy into it and effort into it, it will degrade. And that goes for this. If we don't try, if we don't put forth effort into taking care of ourselves, then bad things will happen. And I thought Brian's not a big public speaker or anything, but I thought it'd be good if Brian's been this tool safety thing, that grinder reminded me. And I don't know that he was doing anything wrong necessarily, or if he was, he'd probably say it here. Could you tell him about you? This has probably been 15 years ago. He got his foot cut one time. Could you tell him about that?
Yeah, I was cutting a piece of trunk, 4-inch trunk. I might not have had a handle on there.
You did have a grinder? It was a grinder with a cut wheel on it?
And it, the one that locks on,
Yep.
and it, when it caught, when I hit the trunk, and it threw it out of my hands, and then it hit my foot, and I was walking around forever, and then I looked down, and seen blood coming down my foot, and cut my,
He cut all the way through a boot.
Yeah.
Was it steel toe boot?
no, I wasn't still there.
He cut all the way through a boot and then the top of his foot.
I didn't even know it.
And
Yeah.
it went between I guess what you call the tendons or something in his foot, didn't it? It ended up just being stitches or something, didn't it?
Yeah, just stitches
Yeah.
inside.
I mean, if it had been one way or the other, it might have cut a tendon, but it wouldn't slice right down into your foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it just like that, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't even know what happened. I've got this little saying, bad tools ruin good guys. Bad tools ruin good guys. There's nothing more frustrating. It's almost less frustrating not to have a tool than it is to have one that doesn't do what it's supposed to do. And we need to know that if you've got something like that. Let somebody know. And, you know, the wheels sometimes turn slower than you'd like for them to, but I just want you all to know that there's a desire to take care of those things. All of y'all have all these Milwaukee power tools on your trucks and in your personal possession or whatever. If those are broken or there's something wrong with them, I take care of those. Those things have 5-year warranty on them. They get sent off and repaired, a lot of times replaced. Whatever, we get those repaired. Some of you men have invested yourself into like little 12-volt tools or whatever. If you've got one of those that goes bad, I don't mind sending it off. I'm sending stuff off. I've got a box in my office right now full of stuff that needs to be sent off. I'll get a bunch of it together and send it off, get repaired. If you have cords that are bad, and you let somebody know, and you know, be persistent about it, because, you know, if you tell Lucas while he's got 3 phone calls going and Ruth hollering at him, then he probably don't remember it right that moment if he doesn't write a note down, but if he doesn't get back to you in a day or two, say, hey, you remember my fill in the blank? If you've got tools that have 3-prong cords on them, they gotta have that ground on them, guys. That's the only wire in that cord that keep you from getting killed. They gotta have that ground on it. The ground, well, that's not true. The ground fault still functions, but anyway.
Hey Dave, talk about ground faults for a minute.
Yeah.
The actual receptacles.
So everyone in here, and I would imagine we're remiss on this a little bit right now because I haven't seen us buy any in a while. If you don't have a ground fault device, thing that plugs in on your vehicle that you work in, would you please let whoever you work for know, and they'll get a note around, we'll get something because you need one on there, and be diligent about using them as well.
And test them.
Yes, push the little test button.
Push the test button.
Yeah, because just because it's a ground fault don't mean it works.
1 in 10 of those fail.
Yes, absolutely.
let me just say, no, I was writing notes down here as I was going, things I've seen through the years. In my day, I was telling Marty before we started this morning, in my day, there weren't all these cordless tools. Those have come along in my career. And, I can remember the first cordless tool that got bought somewhere where I was working. It was the coolest thing ever, and we all shared it. It was pretty expensive. It was a little 7.2 volt Makita drill, 4-inch drill, and it drive like probably 20 screws or something and run out of battery. But somebody said, well, what did you used to do? Well, we had those little 4-inch Black & Decker home wrecker drills there that we drive fasteners with. We did it that way, and also did it by hand. And in my day, guys my age, almost without exception, their favored hand, right-handed people right hand, left-handed people left hand, their favored hand, their wrist and their forearm are wrecked from torquing on stuff all the time. There's no need for you guys to do that. Don't do it. Electricians, put on wire nuts with the drill. Learn how to do it right. I'm not telling you to twist wire up this long, okay? Learn how to do that stuff and use these power tools to put fasteners in and to put devices in and all that thing stuff. But do it right. I'm not telling you to tear stuff up. I wanted to tell you another thing come to mind. I was out helping the plumbers on a Saturday not too long ago, and we were threading pipe. Don't be afraid to be the guy that says, hey, you know what, you're kind of making me nervous here. Nate Patterson back there said to me, I had a hoodie on with strings. We're sitting there with a 300, rigid 300 there, threading pipe, and I'm leaning over that thing with these strings dangling. He said, hey, you mind tucking those strings in? They're kind of making me nervous. I didn't take offense to that whatsoever. I appreciated it, and I had actually thought of that and just hadn't done it. And that did not, I mean, that thing get a hold of you, you don't stop a rigid 300, do you? Yeah, that thing will just keep on pulling and pull your head down there if it wanted to. So don't be afraid to be the guy that says, hey, you want me to go get you a pair of safety glasses? That's okay. And that guy will appreciate it if you say it, I promise. Learn to work. I'm gonna contradict something that was said on this tape. Learn to work in gloves. These gloves that we have these tight fitting.
Right, yeah, the maxi,
Yes.
flex, yeah.
Yes. Learn to work in gloves. There's almost nothing you can't do in gloves if you kind of get used to it. I've heard this before, and I probably personal testimony would back this up, that the most common injury you're gonna have as a craftsman is a hand injury.
Yeah.
Your hands get tore up, and there's no point in having torn up hands. There's no point in having nasty hands. You know, you can wear these gloves and protect your hands. And get used to wearing them. They're not that hot in the summer. They're not that warm in winter either, are they? No. But you will get used to it. You will become accustomed to working with gloves. One quick trick is, if you will, I was talking to some guys, I think it was Buffalo Trace recently, and you know, it's cold, they're outside, and they drive a lot of fasteners. And they said, well, I can't pick these screws up out of, you know, the jug or out of my waste apron and put them in the drill. But take and get you these magnetic drivers. You know, I've got some long